Good morning, welcome to Huddlesford, just outside Lichfield, Staffordshire. Today could be the day where the stove gets completed, where the flue gets fitted, it all gets sealed up. I hope so. Be nice to get this one out of the way. And then maybe tomorrow, Mrs Lumsden will join me and we can have a bit of a ceremonial lighting of the first fire. Toast it with a glass of whiskey or a cheeky wine or something like that. So yes, I look forward to that. So fingers crossed I'm going to get this sorted today. Before I get engrossed with the actual fit though, I seriously need to just sit and do a bit of quiet thought on the process. I'm going to write it down so that I've got a definite sort of flow through a process, because obviously I don't want to do something if it was out of sequence to something else. You know, if I fasten something in and I haven't done something else first. So it's like putting the tightening straps over the flue before I put the flue into position. It's about where the sealant goes, where the fire cement goes within this area, within this area, you know, where that fits, what happens up the top. So I suppose I take this out, put this in with the clips on, but when that goes in there I want it to have all the sealant already in place in there. So put that in, then lower that back in from above so that I know it's all there, because I don't want to be moving it once that sealant and cement's gone off. I then don't want to be putting it under any strain from above. So I need to know that is exactly the line I want before, you know, I don't want to start doing any stressing of it and cracking it all. Because the final thing, once it's all in, is then I'll fix I'll drill through the feet of the stove and fix it to the hearth. I'm not going to do that until I'm sure, you know, because if I just need to move the whole thing a millimetre or two, that needs to be the last thing I do. So I've just got to write out a process through all of that so that I do it at the same time. I mean, this silicone, it's not going to go off within a minute, is it? So once I apply it, I'm sure I've got a bit of time, but I don't want to be sort of in it, then back out, and then in it again. I want to be able to apply it and push in and seal off. That's what I want. I think that's how the builders do it. Oh joy. God. Let's make a start. The other thing I also need to consider is this panel needs to go back up. So this is the panel that came from right at the edge here, but I need to scallop out of here a section for it to fit round there. So that probably is one of the first things I need to do. That's better, got that in. I've used a jigsaw just around that section. So that's fine, I've got clearance there. Yeah, clearance there. So that'll all get taken in when we put the plate around it that wasn't supplied. That will tidy all this up. So the situation I have is that this pipe is over the top of this pipe. There's actually you see there. So this slides down or up. So it's like telescopic, but it's about 3 inches too high. I need to squash it down to there. And then that allows for the roof collar to go on. So I've just got to take this off and try and apply some pressure to the top of it to push it down to there. It's going to be a tough one, I think. 3 inches. Right. No, I'd be lucky if that moved an inch. Some wood across the top, I think. Wood. So what there is in there, there's some much softer wadding, not the fireproof wadding. So when it first came, it was just like a loose sheet in there. And so as you compress it, it compresses that wadding, gets tighter and tighter. So you know you've got a really good sort of insulation. But I think I need to actually try and extract that wadding now, cut some out of it to give me the space to get it to actually move. But getting it out now is quite difficult. You can see it. Looks relatively. Once I can get it coming, I think it'll. There. It's there. This. It's just not very nice stuff to touch. This. It's that itchy sort of thing. Nearly 250 quid on You've Been Framed. Let's go and see if that's going to allow it to go in now. That's not going on. It wasn't straight, was it? It was never going to go on. Oh, it's going. Right. Plumber's Flue. So we're getting there. I threw a load of fire cement around that, is it the spigot, I think, on the top of the fire. I've also loaded it up with loads of plumber's flue as well. Then just run a bit round where the two joints are. I'm going to put a band around that anyway. And then I need to go further up and do the one up there. So I'm not sure whether I should leave this bit now, because I temporarily fixed this in place so that it would stabilise what I was doing below, and now I've done that. So the sealer, there's some fire cement. Probably wise to leave this and come back to it tomorrow, to give everything a chance to sort of settle off. I'm not sure, don't know, should I? If I go sort of pulling and tugging at this now, am I actually going to give myself a problem? No, I don't need to pull and tug it. I don't need to pull and tug it, because all I need to do is release this base plate so I can get some sealer around where the chimney's coming through the roof, and then sealer underneath this base plate and through the threads where the bolts are going, and then ultimately around here. So I've got no reason to disturb the actual flue. All I'm moving is the base plate, so no, that's all right. Carry on. Not that any of you had sort of immediately given me a call and said, Lumpy, this is what you need to do, because obviously you can't, because you're watching this after the events, aren't you? So you might be watching this and you've still got a film to watch where it showed it failed. Let's hope not, eh? So this base plate should come up without disturbing the flue. Yeah. And I need to get some sealer under there. Okay. How do I do that? How do I do that then? Do it from below. Can I do it from below? I think I can. Yeah, so I can get that from below. How much of this have I got here? Doesn't help having a light coloured roof, does it, this? Thank you. Get a bit of white spirit, I think, in a minute onto that. It's gone over. Right, it's just the final bead now. Final bead around there. Let's tighten her in now. dirty hands are getting everywhere. Let's get some, I think white spirit will possibly get it off while it's still wet. Alright, final bit, final piece of the jigsaw now. Make sure those bolt heads don't become the weak link. Probably belt and braces, but only silicone. If I need to get to those at some point, I will. It's a bit untidy around the edge. Let's go and get that white spirit. I'll do that in a minute. Guys, I've done it. I've done it. And John did it as well. John cut the hole, but I've done it. Proud. So that's it. Brilliant. So we're all sealed up round the bottom. A strap on there, another strap up there. Got some damage, but standard. Talking to other people, it's a bit rubbish really. You'd think this would be powder coated, and it's not. It's some sort of weak spray paint that, you know, these surfaces are going to come together. So not great really. If anybody from Morso is watching, who manufactures these, you're charging us 650 quid for a couple of pieces of pipe. Can you make sure they're painted properly, please? Thank you. There it is with the full stack on. So that's the stack you put on when you're stationary. You want a decent fire going. That's what you put on. You don't have that on when you're actually travelling if you've got a fire going, because there's a probability that it's going to foul some of the lower bridges. So in that case, you just have this section sat on top of the little stubby bit at the bottom. So you keep it low, but then when you moor up, you go back to the tall flue. How about that? Job done. Get Mrs Lumsden up for a fire tomorrow now.